Right here on the Borders and Borders hotline, Bob Pompeani, Ron Cook with you, so give us a call. A lot of people have already done that, and we will pick a lucky caller tonight, and we'll let you know at the end of this segment who that would be. So if I call your name and you get on the air, please don't hang up. We'll get information for you as we go. We'll begin with Paul in the north side. What's up, Paul? How you doing?
Good, Bob. Ron,
Good.
how are you?
Good, thanks.
Quick comment. If the Pirates do defeat the Reds sometime this year, will Ron Cook cut his beard, shave his beard, or will he be like the House of David players?
So I don't know if you heard that, Ron, but
I did not.
He wants to know if the Pirates ever do beat the Reds, will you cut your beard? It may grow to Rumpelstiltskin.
Oh my God! I think I might have to wait a long time for that.
All right, let's go. I don't know. George and Vanessa, what's up, George? How you doing?
Hi, Bob. Hi, Ron. How are you guys doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Hey, couple Pirate questions. I heard today that the Dodgers picked up Watson's salary, and that the guy from the Phillies, they're paying his salary.
Yeah, Benoit, all about $181,000, according to the Associated Press.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, it's still some money. Do you think that they're going to change their ways in the off season and do anything different? And my second question is, let's say Huntington doesn't come back. Do you think if another GM came in, it would be the same way, same procedures?
Well, as far as budgets, I don't see
the shots on what
budgets are not going to change much,
Nope,
right, Ron?
They're not. I mean, Neil works under incredible limitations. There's no question. He's got a budget. He can only spend what he can spend. That doesn't satisfy a lot of people by how much he has to spend. But we don't own the team. Bob Nutting does, and he sets the rules. And I don't think it's going to change for the next GM, if there is a next GM.
All right, our winner is coming up next right here. Tony in Wilkinsburg, you have won our Steeler Family Fest ticket, so congratulations. When we're done, please don't hang up your phone, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, you're on the air. Go ahead. What's on your mind, Tony?
Okay, Bob. Ron? I just want to say something. I think PMC made a bad choice in investing in getting the Pirates a stadium. They might as well just had stayed playing in the same stadium as the Steelers. And I also want to ask, don't you think that the Pirates organization should pay to pick up better players to bring home a championship?
Thanks for the call. Hang on, Tony. We'll get some information from you. We'll comment on that. Number one, I think PNC made an investment that was based on, number one, being in this market, a new stadium, a new venue. They've been there a long time now, and I think they still like what they've gotten. Sure, you'd like to see more postseason, Ron, because that's where you get a lot. But they're not one of those banks that's looking to be all over the place anyway. I think regionally they do what they do, and I think they do it well. So it's been a good investment for them.
Yeah, I would think. It's a beautiful ballpark named after them. I mean, everybody wishes the Pirates would win more. They don't. Spending
now, that was the other part of Tony's question. I'm not advocating going out and spending what the Dodgers spend, but what I am saying is that if you have opportunities to help your team, and it means you have to go out and spend over your comfort zone. Let's say, for example, instead of a Daniel Hudson at $5 million, you get someone else who may be $9 million for one season. I don't see anything wrong with that, Ron, and it seems like they're more willing to, put 4 or 5 pieces together that total $15 million, as opposed to maybe 1 or 2 guys who can give you maybe more results.
What do you do about the other 4 positions?
Well, there are ways to find it. I mean, like, for example, financial flexibility, based on the interview I heard from you and Andrew with Neil Huntington, was defined by, well, we saved money with Liriano, so what we spent it on was Nova, Freeze,
and
Hudson. And Hudson. All right. Okay. David Freeze is a decent backup guy.
He's a bench player.
But that's what he is. Okay. You should be able to do that without financial flexibility. That should be part of your plan. As far as Nova, I never thought he'd sign for that kind of money, but it came back to him, and then I don't know that they would have done it had it been another $10 million more.
I don't think so. They would.
Okay, but my point is there's money there, but just because you save that doesn't mean you should stop just spending that. It should be more than that. Like they saved $9.4 million, Andrew told me today, right, on these moves.
Gong.
All right.
And Gong and Marte and Tony Watson.
So just because you spend $9 million of that what you save doesn't mean you should stop there. That's money you already spent. Now you're saving. Spend it, but spend more than that. That's all I'm saying. Do you agree with that, or am I just good at spending money?
You're good at spending money, Bob. You always have been.
All right. Let's go out to Bob in Indiana. Hey, Bob, how you doing? Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for taking my call, Jim. And I agree with you, Bob. They need to spend more money. But I need an answer, and I don't know if you can give me an answer on all what I'm looking for. But why in heaven's name did Hurdle put in Jaso that game last night when he's 0 for 50-something? He hasn't hit a ball, even come near hitting a ball.
Since
They
July 5th.
They came off a horrendous road trip, and they need everyone they can get, and they put him in. And they had a day's rest. Everyone was rested, so there's no reason to put him in to rest. And the other question, why didn't they bring Diaz up? Because right now Stewart's not doing it either.
Those are good. A lot of people are on the Diaz. I think next year he is up here.
I don't think he's got a hit in the minor leagues since they sit him back down. He hasn't done anything down there, for whatever that's worth. And yeah, sit Jaso. Who are you going to play out there? You're going to play Frazier, I guess. Are you okay with that?
Or Osuna. I think Osuna's
I mean,
pretty
you know,
good.
they wanted a left-handed bat last night. I guess I don't like any of those options. I'm with you. The depth on this team, the bench is awful. The worst I can remember in a long time, and a lot of that had to do with Marte and Gung because those guys were gone and other guys had to play much more than they should.
What is your take, Ron, on Gung? I think that I thought he'd be back late in the year this year. I didn't think he'd miss the entire year, but it looks like not only that, but he sort of intimated that he may be gone next year as well. Is that,
well, when we had Neil on our show yesterday, he goes, we knew there was a chance he wouldn't be back this year or even next year. Well, if they knew that, then I think they did a lousy job because they went into the season without a third baseman. You're asking Freese to be an everyday guy, and both he and Hurdle came out and said Freese can't be an everyday guy. But that's the situation they were stuck with. I don't think he's ever going to be here again. That's just my guess. I know nothing about South Korean law, so I mean I'm speaking out of my head, but I don't anticipate he's going to be back again.
I do. I think, you know, once a year goes by, he's going to go back into those same people and say, look, this is what I've done in a year. And if he could prove that he's made strides, then maybe, you know, through his visa and the United States and Homeland Security and everything else that's involved in this stuff, you know, I think he's got to be back. I do. And I think it would be more interesting to see how he does when he gets back and the pressure he feels and how the fans react to him. But I do think he'll be back. We'll see. That's a long-term thing. All right, we're going to go one more call before break, and that would be Ethan in Cranberry. What's up, Ethan? How you doing?
How are you guys doing?
All right, thanks.
Well, I'm very confused about this. The Reds are 8-1 against the Pirates. What's going wrong for the Pirates? Is it a mental thing? Is it their performance? What is it?
Yes.
Not enough talent.
Yes.
I mean, whatever. You know, it's strange.
There's no excuse to be 1-8.
They are the only team in baseball that has a losing record against losing teams while beating better teams, which is really mind-boggling.
Right. It is. I can't explain it other than say it's baseball. It happens that way once in a while.
All right, let's go to a break. We'll take it. We got more calls on the way. We got Mike, we got Brad, we got Mark, and we'll get more after this. It's 412-575-2600. Give us a shout. We're live right here on Pittsburgh CW.